What happens when a lion saves a wounded anaconda, only to watch it slither toward his own cub? This wasn't just nature acting strange. What happened next left even the rangers speechless. I never thought I'd be standing there, alone, dry-mouthed, heart-pounding, with a full-grown lion staring down a broken snake. But let me start from the beginning, because this mess didn't start with fangs or roars. It started with something a lot quieter. That morning, I was just doing what I always do, walking the edge of the savannah before the sun got too mean. I'm not some hero. I'm just a tracker, born and raised in the dust. People out here know better than to mess with nature. Well, most people. That's when I spotted it. The brush ahead was flattened, not like from wind or hooves. This was something dragged, heavy, messy, bleeding. And there it was, a full-bodied anaconda. Big girl, scarred and half dead, curled at the bottom of a dry creek bed like someone dumped a rope of muscle and misery down there. Her body shimmered in that ugly way wounds do. Fresh, red, and angry. And around her, metal. Not just any metal. Man-made. Spikes, snares, a torn-up net. You didn't have to be a genius to figure it out. She'd been caught, used, and tossed like trash when she wasn't valuable anymore. Now listen, I know snakes give people the creeps, but that look in her eye, that wasn't evil. That was survival. And I've seen that stare before, in mirrors. I should have walked, called the rangers, stayed out of it. But no, I did something stupid. I climbed down, no gloves, no backup, just instinct. And as I inched closer, real slow, hands open, no sudden moves, I whispered, "I'm not here to hurt you." She didn't move, not an inch, just breathed and bled. So I started cutting, one rope at a time, careful not to spook her. Every time my knife touched steel, I braced for her to snap. But she didn't. Maybe she knew, or maybe she was too tired to care. But I'll tell you this. When that last tangle fell off and she slid her bruised body across the dirt just an inch, it felt like something shifted, like the earth itself took a breath. And that's exactly when I heard the engine. Not a car, a truck, big tires, too fast, too loud, poachers. And wouldn't you know, they brought friends, 3 men, all gear, all grin. Rifles slung like party favors. The one in front, bearded and loud, saw me and laughed. "Look at this. You stealing our snake, city boy?" City boy? Sure. Because all city boys carry machetes and kneel in the dirt over bleeding reptiles. I stood up. "She's not yours." He laughed again, the kind of laugh that rattles something inside your chest. "You think she wandered into those traps herself?" I didn't answer. Didn't blink. Just planted my feet and stood taller than I felt. The guy behind him cocked his rifle. "Back off. We got permits." "Yeah, and I've got wings." "Nobody believes that paperwork. Not out here." I didn't move. My voice dropped low, calm. "You shoot while I'm standing here. You're not walking away clean. You know that, right?" He didn't laugh this time. We stared each other down, heat rising, snake still behind me, silent as stone. Then, something unbelievable happened. A sound tore through the air like thunder wrapped in fury. A roar, not from me, from the ridge. A lion, full-grown male, golden, towering, with eyes that didn't blink and teeth that didn't care about permits. And he wasn't charging. He was watching. United States. Then he walked down into the gully. Not fast, not hostile, just sure. He didn't come for the men. He didn't come for me. He came and sat, right beside her, the damn snake. And when I say sat, I mean like a statue, shoulders squared, head high, like a sentinel in a cathedral made of dust and teeth. The poachers lost their nerve. The guy with the rifle whispered, "What is this?" Bearded man cursed under his breath. "That thing protecting the snake?" I didn't answer. I couldn't. I didn't even know. The lion didn't growl, didn't move, just watched. Breathing, daring them. No one blinked. And then, just like that, they left. Didn't even pretend to argue. Just turned and left. tires spinning in the dirt like cowards running from their own shadows. When the dust cleared, I looked at the lion. He looked back. No growl. No thank you. Just a look, like he was saying, "Now you get it." And maybe I did. Maybe. But let me tell you something. What happened next changed everything. You don't want to miss how this turned on its head. You ever try sleeping with your back against a termite mound? One eye on a lion and the other on a snake? Welcome to my Tuesday night. That lion didn't leave. Neither did she. They just stayed, right where I left them. No roars, no slithering, no drama, just quiet. The kind that crawls into your bones and whispers, "Something's coming." I'd camped out 50 yards away, not daring to get closer. Call it respect, call it instinct. But you don't interrupt a moment like that unless you want nature herself to slap you across the face. Come sunrise, I saw it. The lion had moved, not far, just a few feet up the slope. But the way he watched the anaconda, you'd think she was the last living thing on earth that mattered. And then, something snapped in my brain. I realized why I couldn't look away. That lion wasn't just guarding her. He was protecting her, like kin. Now I've seen things in the wild. Animals grieve. Elephants remember. Wolves mourn. But this was new. He didn't owe her a thing. And yet there he was. But don't start thinking this is some bedtime story. Nature doesn't do warm and fuzzy. She does balance. And when you mess with it, it comes swinging back. Hard. Around noon, I heard it. A sound I'd know anywhere. A cub, crying. Now I've worked enough rescue missions to tell the difference between a playful cub and one in trouble. And this was not play. It came from the direction of a narrow ravine nearby, dry most of the year, but with sharp rocks and steep walls that could trap anything smaller than a wildebeest. The lion heard it too. He was up in a blink, ears forward, chest heaving. I followed. I don't know what I expected. Maybe another injured animal. Maybe nothing. But what I didn't expect was that same anaconda, coiled at the edge of the ravine, and just inches in front of her, the lion's cub, frozen, wide-eyed, half-pressed against a rock like it wanted to disappear into it. And the anaconda? Her head was tilted low, tongue flicking, slowly shifting forward toward the cub. Now listen, I wanted to believe this was a misunderstanding. But the lion? He didn't. He roared so loud the earth seemed to stutter. I don't speak lion, but I can tell you that wasn't a greeting. It was a warning. She paused, but she didn't move back. And in that moment, with my hands still dusty, heart thudding like a war drum, the smell of dry earth in my nostrils, I realized the nightmare wasn't over. It had just turned on itself. The lion had saved the snake, and now the snake was staring down his cub. I took a step closer, whispering, "Don't do this." Not to her, not to him, not after everything. But the way she held her head, the tension in her body, it wasn't hunger, it was confusion, maybe even pain. And the lion? He didn't rush, he didn't attack. He did something I'll never forget. He stepped between them. His body blocked the sun. The cub crawled under him, into the curve of his front leg. And the anaconda, she lowered her head. Flat. Still. Then came the rustle. Behind me, grass moved, and I turned around to see the last thing anyone wants to see when things are already unraveling. Humans. Again. And this time, they weren't poachers, they were something worse. Officials, with radios, badges, and that special kind of arrogance that comes with too much authority and not enough understanding. They saw the lion, the snake, the cub, and they drew the wrong conclusion faster than you can say, disaster. One of them raised a tranquilizer rifle. Another shouted, "Get the cub away from the snake!" My heart nearly stopped. "Wait, you don't understand!" Too late. Shot fired, and chaos kicked the door open. This is it. The climax is here. Everything's about to explode, and the way our lion answers this moment, you won't forget it. Stay with me. Everything happened in seconds. The tranquilizer dart hissed through the air like a whisper with bad intentions, and I swear even the wind stopped to watch. It didn't hit the anaconda. It didn't hit the lion. It hit the ground, right between them, and that was enough. The lion leapt sideways, his body covering the cub like a wall of muscle and fury. The anaconda reared back instinctively, not to strike, just to survive, but that didn't matter to the men with the badges, because humans have this incredible gift for misunderstanding what's right in front of them. The team, 4 of them now, rushed in like they were storming a scene from a wildlife documentary gone wrong, hands waving, radios blaring, shouting orders like the bush would listen. "Separate them! Get that snake contained!" One guy tried to approach with a loophole, brave but not smart. The lion growled, not just at him, at all of them. And I don't blame him. Think about it. He saved this creature from a trap made by us, watched over her like a soldier on night duty. Then what? She ends up by his cub, maybe confused, maybe worse, and before he even has a chance to figure it out, more of us show up and throw darts. Now tell me, would you trust anybody after that? I stepped in front of the rifleman. "You need to stop. Right now." He gave me a look, the kind reserved for tourists who think lions are pets. "Sir, we're trying to secure an active threat." "Or are you?" I asked, keeping my voice low. "Or are you reacting to something you don't understand?" He blinked, confused. That was my opening. "She was injured," I said. "Abused, dumped. He protected her. From men like the ones you're trying to act like now. That cub?" He didn't roar. He didn't strike. He stood between them. Still no response. So I dropped the last card. "And he did it again just now. For you." That made him stop. Just long enough. Meanwhile, the anaconda had slid back. Not lunged, not threatened. Just moved away, slow and deliberate. She coiled herself behind a bush like she wanted to vanish into the dirt. The cub poked its head out from under the lion's chest. Curious, unafraid. That image burned into my skull. A lion, a cub, a battered snake, and 4 men with gear they barely understood. Eventually, someone higher up showed up. Gray vest, clipboard. The kind of guy who smells like meetings and caution tape. He listened. Actually listened. I explained what I saw, from the first wound to the final roar. He didn't speak right away. Then he nodded. And he said the one thing I didn't expect to hear from a government mouthpiece: "Let them go." Just like that. No cages, no collars, no flash photos. We backed off. I watched as the lion nudged his cub forward, back toward the den. He didn't look back, but she did. The anaconda. One last glance. No anger, just stillness. And then she disappeared into the grass like she'd never existed. But she had, and so had that moment. So what do you do after witnessing something like that? I didn't post it, didn't sell it, didn't tag it with a filter and call it found footage. I kept it, right here. Because sometimes the wild doesn't need our narration. It just needs us to shut up and watch and learn. That day, I saw a lion protect a creature everyone else feared. And I saw that same creature choose not to harm what she could have. That's not instinct. That's choice. That's something we could learn a thing or two from. Some stories don't need a headline. They need to be remembered.